For nearly 3 decades, one of the most unusual aircraft in European skies has been quietly doing a job most passengers never really think about. With its oversized bulbous fuselage and obvious profile, the Airbus Beluga became a flying bridge between factories, carrying the massive components that eventually turn into finished airliners. It was never designed to carry people or make headlines, yet over time it became a symbol of how modern aircraft are actually built. Now that chapter is coming to a close. After years of behind-the-scenes service, one specific aircraft, Airbus BelugaST No. 5, is preparing for its final flight. Its farewell marks not just the retirement of a single airplane, but a broader transition in how Airbus moves the largest parts of its aircraft across Europe. So in this video, we take a look at the final flight of Airbus BelugaST No. 5, why this aircraft mattered so much to Airbus, how it supported aircraft production for decades, and what the future holds for the Beluga program. On Thursday, January 29, 2026, BelugaST No. 5 was scheduled to perform a farewell flypast over northern Wales before landing at Broughton Airfield. The aircraft was expected to touch down at around 11 a.m. local time in what was planned to be its final operational arrival. This moment marked roughly 30 years of BelugaST service, moving Airbus components between European manufacturing plants and final assembly lines. With 6 newer Beluga XL aircraft now handling the heavy lifting, Airbus has begun retiring the original BelugaST fleet and looking at ways to preserve some of these aircraft on static display. While 2 BelugaST aircraft are expected to remain operational until around mid-2027, the farewell of No. 5 is especially symbolic. For Airbus employees, engineers and aviation enthusiasts alike, it represents the end of a very distinctive era in industrial aviation. The aircraft known as the BelugaST is formally designated the Airbus A300-600 ST. It first flew in 1994 and entered operational service in 1996. From the beginning, it was designed to solve a very specific logistical challenge. Airbus's manufacturing footprint is scattered across Europe, and transporting large aircraft components by road or sea is slow, complex, and often impractical. The Beluga was created as an internal air bridge, capable of moving oversized sections quickly and reliably between factories. As Airbus production volumes increased and aircraft designs evolved, the BelugaST became even more critical. Component sizes continued to grow, especially with programs such as the Airbus A350, which introduced larger and more complex structures. To keep operations efficient, Airbus refined its processes and relied heavily on the BelugaST to maintain production flow across borders. Over time, Airbus also began planning for the next step. As aircraft components grew even larger, the company developed the A330-based Beluga XL. Entering service in 2020, the Beluga XL offers roughly 30% more payload capacity than the original BelugaST. This additional capacity allows Airbus to move larger structures in fewer flights, improving efficiency across the production network and reducing pressure on schedules. In parallel with these developments, Airbus explored ways to commercialize spare cargo capacity through a venture known as Airbus Beluga Transport. The idea was to offer outsized cargo services to external customers using the unique capabilities of the BelugaST. However, the venture proved difficult to sustain. In early 2025, Airbus terminated the program and suspended A300-600 ST commercial flights, highlighting how challenging the outsized cargo market can be when range limitations, payload constraints, and loading complexity are taken into account. By June 2024, Airbus had completed the Beluga XL fleet, with operations expected to continue for decades. With the newer aircraft fully in place, the gradual retirement of the BelugaST became both a practical and strategic decision. For Airbus, retiring the BelugaST is less about nostalgia and more about logistics and efficiency. The company's manufacturing network depends on precise timing. Any delay in moving wings or fuselage sections can quickly ripple through final assembly lines. The Beluga XL fleet, now complete, boosts payload capacity by around 30% and can haul larger Airbus A350 structures, reducing the number of flights needed and tightening turnaround times. Standardizing the internal transport fleet on newer A330-based platforms also simplifies maintenance planning and crew training compared to operating older aircraft. From a strategic standpoint, this transition closes the chapter on Airbus Beluga transport and allows Airbus to focus entirely on its core task of keeping assembly lines running smoothly. According to reports, Beluga XL models are expected to serve for decades. Airbus has even stored key production tooling in case it decides to build additional Beluga XL aircraft in the future. Preserving some of the original BelugaST aircraft on display also allows Airbus to celebrate a unique cultural icon while maintaining goodwill with employees and the aviation community. The story of the Airbus Beluga does not end here. Airbus Transport International is set to operate the 6 Beluga XL aircraft as the company's standard internal freighter fleet. These planes are custom-built to shuttle major aerostructures between plants using purpose-built loading stations and fast turnaround procedures, and Airbus expects them to remain in service for many years to come. What remains unclear is whether Airbus will ever attempt again to sell outsized cargo capacity to external customers. The experience with the BelugaST showed just how narrow and demanding that market can be. For now, Airbus's focus remains firmly on internal logistics. Meanwhile, the first-generation BelugaST aircraft are heading toward retirement solutions that include museums, educational sites, and long-term storage. Airbus has confirmed it is exploring display options both in its home countries and beyond, although the aircraft's sheer size significantly narrows the list. BelugaST No. 5 in particular is expected to be converted into a STEM support facility in Broughton, giving it a new role inspiring future engineers and aviation professionals. History shows that getting large aircraft into museums is rarely easy. Over the years, several famous aircraft have completed challenging journeys to reach their final display locations. One of the most famous examples is the Hughes H-4 Hercules, better known as the Spruce Goose. Built in the 1940s and still the largest flying boat ever constructed, it was disassembled, transported by flatboat, moved by road, and eventually restored and reassembled at its current museum home in Oregon. The effort took years and required enormous planning and resources. BelugaST No. 5's final flight was a fitting farewell. Departing Bordeaux at 10:16 a.m., the aircraft flew north toward La Rochelle before turning northwest toward Nantes. It continued across the English Channel, past the islands of Jersey and Guernsey, and adjusted to a more direct northerly course along the south coast of England. Cruising at 32,000 feet, the aircraft began a gentle descent over southern Wales, briefly crossing back into England near Ellesmere Port before lining up for its final approach into Broughton. Touching down at 11 a.m. local time, the flight lasted 1 hour and 44 minutes, bringing the 25-year flying career of this unique aircraft to a close. While the BelugaST is leaving active service, its legacy is secure. For decades, it quietly enabled Airbus to build aircraft at scale, proving that logistics can be just as critical as design and performance. Its successor will carry that mission forward, but the sight of the original Beluga in the sky will always remain a symbol of ingenuity and a very specific solution to a very modern problem. What do you think? Should aircraft like the BelugaST be preserved so people can see them up close, or is it enough to remember them for the role they played behind the scenes? Let us know by leaving a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more aviation content. See you next time. In addition to our daily YouTube videos, Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles and a podcast every week. Visit simpleflying.com.